So, it finally happened. Yiheng Wang just got the WT world record average with a time of 4.69. 2 competitions ago, he got a 4.9 average, which was Asian record. Then he gets a 4.75 world record average, but loses it due to a missed scramble. And now he actually has a world record average. This man cannot be stopped. The solves he got to get this average was pretty incredible, so let's take a look at how he did it. So normally Yiheng does white cross, but for this scramble the white cross doesn't seem as great, so he looked at yellow, which looks really good. Cross pieces are here, one in place and then one here. And the more obvious thing is there's a block here, so one for the orange green and one for the orange blue. This one's on the bottom layer, so it's a bit hard to preserve, so we'll focus on this one for now. Whenever we can solve the cross with its corner in place, we'll try to solve its edge in place also to get an X cross. So this edge is actually right here. So just something to keep note of, this edge and then this corner. So first he's going to solve this cross edge, so sets up the bottom layer like this. And then he could solve this in one move, but to get this cross piece in here, he'll do this one move setup. That way when you solve this cross piece, you also get this edge piece for the X cross. That disrupts this block, but the next move he just literally moves it back to get the block again. Now we can solve the rest of the cross, solve this block as well as this edge piece, and then D, L for this last piece, and then D. And then the first pair should be pretty obvious, so just right here. Immediately from that, I would do this pair, but somehow Yiheng already knows his next pair in the back, which is going to be this and this, which I would never see. So he does U2 set it up, and then he makes the pair, and then inserts the pair into the front. And then lastly, this pair should be pretty self-explanatory. Just make the pair and then insert it. Now just OLO, so this one is M and then soon UM prime, and then Y perm. With 12.5 turns per second, this solve was a 4.35. Now let's see the next solve, which is even better. So for this scramble, he solves white as always. Cross pieces are here, 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 and here. Not the greatest. The way I would probably solve this cross is first put in this piece, then I'll solve these two pieces, and then solve this final piece, which is alright. But for some reason, he chooses to do a really long cross solution, which I'm guessing is because he wants to preserve this first pair, which is going to be this piece and then this piece. So he first solves this cross piece and this cross piece instead, not solving this one yet. So like that. Then the pair we're looking at is now here and here. Then he solves this cross piece with D2R prime, which connects the pair in the back now. That way, when we insert this edge piece with a wide move, you can kind of see how this is some F12 pair, and if we do the setup move for that, it sets up this F12 pair at the same time as solving the cross piece. I'm not sure if you planned this F12, but that seems like the only reason why this cross is so long. And then finish off the cross and then solve this pair in the back. Then we have the same case again with this one, so set it up and then insert this sign from the left. And then a free pair here, which is pretty nice. And here's when things get interesting. For this, I would do something like this to solve the pair, but he does something even better. He can solve this last pair and OLO at the same time. So there's a giant block here in the back. So if you do like only R and F moves, this will be preserved. And then there's also this big line here, and these two are both yellow. So he does a sledgehammer, and sledgehammer again, which just skips the entire OLO and solves that F2O. Really cool trick. Here I would do A perm with left hand, but he chooses to do this instead. So he does a U and does righty A perm. Even though that solve didn't seem that lucky, the forced OLO skip helped this become a sub 4 solve, which means this next solve is very important if it counts. So as always, he chooses to do white here. The cross is actually pretty good. You have this cross piece and then this one's one move away. Then these two cross pieces, this one's one move pretty much. This one is flipped, but it's also pretty close. And then you have this one F12 pair, just to keep in mind for the X cross. So the biggest problem with this X cross is that this edge is connected with this pair, which means inserting this edge piece is going to be pretty hard without breaking up this pair. So he chooses to do the first two cross pieces while breaking up this pair and this edge piece. So first, solve this piece, then I'll do a U setup move to bring the pair to the back, and then R to solve this cross piece. Next we can solve this cross piece to the back while breaking up this pair and this edge, just like this. And now the pair is out and this is solved. Now what I would do is just solve the pair to the back like this, but I think Yiheng was a bit smarter and saw something a bit more. If you insert the pair to the back like this, you can solve this edge in a way to get a free pair. If you do this, you don't get any free pairs, but you can notice these two pieces. If you insert this with wide moves like this, you get a free pair right here. No clue how he saw that, but that's pretty incredible. From that last solve, I think he just knows a lot of combinations of how the Y move are to solve one edge to get free F12 pair. If this is a common technique, please let me know, because I haven't really seen something like this before. Or possibly he's doing this all by accident, but again, I don't know why he does the U2 here, just to insert this piece, unless he knows there's going to be a pair that's set up. Anyway, he solves this pair with the lefty moves. Immediately I would do this pair next, but he likes to do back pairs first, which is very smart, which is why he does this pair next. So pair it up like that, and put it in the back. And then last pair, just beginner's method. Make the pair, put it in. Now we have OLO, which is the very easy case right here. And now the corners are solved, and we have PLO. Interestingly enough, he does this U-perm. So take out pair, insert a pair, and then U2. Normally I don't do that PLO for that AUF, but it seems like he prefers that for U-perms. That was also 12 SPS in a 4.41 second solve. All you need is a mid 5 for this fourth solve for world record average. Alright, onto this cross. For this cross, the white pieces are here, which is pretty nice. 2 moves solves that. And then here, and then here. So there's a block here with the green, red, white corner. So keep that in mind for the X cross. And its edge is right here. So he first solves the 2 easy pieces, these two. So that solves 2 cross pieces. Then he solves this piece. So D, and then F prime to set it up, but that breaks up this block. So to keep the block, he puts it in the back, and then does the F prime. Now keep in mind that we have to solve this X cross. So we can notice that the edge it belongs with is right here, the red-green. So he does something pretty smart here. First off, the edge belongs here. So what he does is have it a double move away. So from here, that way when he does a U R2, that solves this cross piece as well as the block, as well as the edge. Pretty smart right there. And then of course the D to finish the X cross. Then he solves the next pair, which is going to be this one. Again, he likes to do pairs that are in the back, so it's easier to look ahead, which is very smart. So let's make the pair and then insert it. Pretty straightforward. The next pair is right here, which is the pair. Just take it out and put it in its slot. And then we have the last pair. Set it up like this, and then nice insert. Then he goes straight into OLO like this. I'm assuming that's because he thought this is like the corner twisted like W case, since he does the RU, which is the ALK for that case. But maybe he got a bit nervous and didn't recognize the case correctly, because this is actually the fat zoom case. So he undoes those moves and then just goes straight into this OLO. Luckily it's a pretty easy one. And then does this A-perm. So he does U2, and then solves the A-perm from the back with its lefty angle. So like this. No AUF, and it's solved. So he was a bit nervous for this one. It was under 10 TPS, but still close to world record average. But do you remember the last time this happened? Even though he clutched world record average, he didn't know it yet, but one solve was a miss-scramble. That means regardless, the last solve should always matter, just in case another solve was a miss-scramble. He learned that lesson on his world record fail, so he has to make sure this solve counts. This last solve was his worst solve, but still pretty interesting. So he chooses to do the yellow cross here. It looks pretty easy. So this is solved, this is almost solved. 1 move away, and then 1 move away. Pretty easy cross. When you have a pretty easy cross, you want to look for an X cross. So what he looks for here is actually this piece and this piece, which is pretty hard to spot. So he's going to first solve this edge into its place, and then afterwards solve this corner. So first off, sets up this piece so it's pretty close to being solved. And then R, that way we have 2 cross pieces done. Then let's solve the rest of the cross. So UD, L2 to solve this cross piece. Then he brings this edge back to its spot from before. That way with an R move that solves the red and blue. So whenever you have an edge solved in the middle layer, you can always insert the corner to get an X cross. So that piece is right here. He inserts the piece here, and then with a D move that solves the X cross. Pretty long solution, but that was pretty smart to get this X cross. Then he solves this pair, so first sets it up like this. And normally I would just insert a pair like this, nothing special. But then you get this pair and then this pair, pretty nasty combination. So what he notices is if you put the pair in the back and do a U2, that sets up this pair perfectly. And he can go straight into solving this pair into the back. Pretty cool. Then lastly, this pair is just nothing special. So just take it out, set it up like this, and then insert it. Lucky Olo, just pretty easy. And then again, he gets an A perm. This time does it from this angle. And then solved. So that's Yiheng Wang's world record average. Even though he turns very fast and looks ahead really well, there's definitely a lot of cool stuff he does in his solves, especially setting up free pairs and making X crosses. So next time you do 2x3, try to see if you can implement those techniques in your solves. I'll definitely try. So thanks for watching this video, and congrats to Yiheng for finally getting his world record.